It is time to look at another very common Python built-in data structure, dictionaries. Well, how is a dictionary different than a list? A list is indexed 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A dictionary uses key value pairs. So the element or the value is accessed by a key. Each key must be unique. Here's a little English to Spanish dictionary. So Spanish gives us an empty dictionary. To add key value pairs to the dictionary, we name the key and assign the value to it. Name the key, assign the value on down the line. We can print the entire dictionary. How do we access the dictionary? By key. If we print Spanish 2, we get dos. Well, this will work. The safer way to get information out of a dictionary is to use the get method. So we use this method to assign values to keys. We use this method to get values from keys. And there is our dictionary, hello, hola. And we're retrieving information from our dictionary. This is an address book using a dictionary. We're defining the address book from the beginning. We're not adding keys and values to it. We're defining all the entries at the start. Now the keys always have to be something distinct. They have to be a string. They have to be an int. They cannot be a float or anything else that doesn't have a definite value. So in this case, the key Fred there's his email address, Larry Mike Spammer. We can print out the entire address book, but it's not beautiful. We're going to look at how to print it out nicer. So here's how we display a specific address. We get Fred. Dictionaries, like other data structures in Python, have built-in methods, or in this case, functions. We can find out how many contacts are in the address book. How do we delete it? We use the delete keyword. We access the key, and that deletes that value. Well, it also deletes the key. It deletes the key and the value pair. That's what they're called, a key value pair. Now we can print out the address book dictionary at this point to see how lovely it is. We can add Guido into our dictionary. Is Guido in the address book? We use the in operator. If Guido, the key, is in the address book, we print out that yes, he's in the address book. We get his address. Then we print the address book again, the raw dictionary. Now we're going to print the address book one entry at a time. The other thing this demonstrates is that we can pass a dictionary, just like a list or anything else, to a function. So we've passed our address book to the function. We've actually copied the value from here to this new variable. Even though it has the same name, it is not the same variable. So how do we print through the address book one at a time? We're going to do something called unpacking. When we have addressbook.items, that method takes apart the dictionary into key and values. So the name is the key, the address is the value. Now we have them unpacked from the dictionary. We can then print those variables separately. All right, here's our raw here's our address book. Let's go back to the top. So we're displaying the address book using our function that we just looked at. We can now display a specific address. There's now 4 contacts. We delete the spammer key, which deletes also the value. There are now 3 contacts. Then we display it. We add Guido. Is he in there? Well, his address is this. So far, so good. If Guido wasn't in the address book, we would not get an answer. Now, this is not beautiful. this is much nicer using our unpacking method that we used in our function. There. You can use the same function in any dictionary. You might just you have to replace these probably with more appropriate variables based on your program. You could make this generic by just saying dictionary, or something like that, DICT, and then you'd have a generic function you could use again and again. One of the places that we use dictionaries is in web API calls. So this is the address of an API that gives you advice. So let's go there. And when we go to the website of most APIs, we get this. Some API documentation will show you this, some doesn't. Well, this is not very beautiful. What you want to do to figure out how to access this with requests is copy this and then paste it. So I've got a sample here. I usually use advice, whatever the name of the API is, _JSON. And if you put .json at the extension, Visual Studio Code will recognize this as JSON. And then I use Control Alt F to format it so everything lines up nicely. So if I do Control A to select this, Control C to copy, go back to my advice JSON, paste it in here, it doesn't look great. I hold down Control and Alt, type F. Whoops, that's wrong. It is actually Shift Alt F. I use this enough that I've got that memorized. So now this breaks it down into, well, there's our main dictionary, which is the data from our website. This is the first entry. This is a key which gives us the value of another dictionary. And then we have advice, which gives us the value that we want to display. So if we look at that part of the program right here, data is our main dictionary. We're going to get slip. This is data. We're going to get slip, which returns this dictionary. And then we get advice, which returns this key. So using this, you can figure out many APIs. Some APIs will have lists of dictionaries and dictionaries of lists, but this is a good one to get started with understanding how to figure it out on your own. Now the rest of this program, we do need requests. If you don't have requests on your system, you want to install it in a command prompt, pip install requests. Here's a constant for our URL, Uniform Resource Locator. We're using this as a standalone program. This is the piece that says if this is a run directly, we do main. If this is used as a module, we do not run main. So after main, we come up here. We go to fetch data. We use the requests module to get the JSON from this URL and store it in a response object. The request library can take that response and convert the JSON into a dictionary list dictionary data structure that Python can understand, and then we can pull that information out using, in this case, two gets, because we have a dictionary inside a dictionary. Well, that is our introduction to dictionaries and one fun use of dictionaries. We'll see you later.